The alarm on my old phone buzzes at 6:30. I groan, roll over, and silence it before it wakes up my sister in the next room. The small apartment smells faintly of coffee. I set the machine last night, and for a moment, life feels painfully ordinary. I glance out the window. Kiev's skyline glows under the pale winter sun, steam rising from chimneys, cars already crawling along the avenue. Children with backpacks rush to school, their laughter echoing faintly. My name is Andriy, 27, a history teacher at the local school. My students are usually more interested in their phones than in the stories of wars long past, and I can't blame them. I always told them that Europe had learned from history, that such horrors would never return. But in recent months, the air feels heavier. News of troops massing near the border, politicians making empty promises. My friends argue in group chats, they want dare attack. You're naive, it's inevitable. I want to believe the optimists. I pour coffee into 2 mugs. My younger sister Katya, 19, wanders out, rubbing her eyes. Morning, she mutters. Morning, I reply. I try to smile, but the unease gnaws at me. I check my phone again. Another headline about military exercises. Another promise that everything is under control. Before leaving for school, I pause by the door. What would I do if the unthinkable happened? I shake the thought off. History may be full of wars, but not my life. Not here. It happens at dawn 2 days later. A low, trembling roar wakes me, then sirens. My heart pounds as if trying to escape my chest. Katya bursts into my room, eyes wide. Andriy, what's happening? The windows rattle. A distant explosion, then another, closer. People in the street are shouting, running. A mother drags her crying child toward a car. No, this can't be real. The TV confirms it. The war has begun. Missiles are striking cities across the country. I grab Katya's hand and rush outside. The cold air stings my face as we sprint toward the metro station, which has become an improvised shelter. Children cry, pets bark, people pray under their breath. Then I hear it, the dull thud of a distant blast. My school. Smoke rises in the direction of the neighborhood where I've spent 5 years teaching. I run, ignoring Katya's pleas to stay put. The streets are chaos, cars abandoned, people screaming. When I arrive, there is nothing left but rubble, twisted metal, and shattered glass. Among the debris lies a red backpack I recognize instantly. It belonged to Maxim, one of my students. My knees buckle. In that moment, something inside me shatters, and hardens. The following hours are a blur. Phones barely work. Friends message from all over the country, some fleeing west, some hiding in basements. I can't leave. I want. By nightfall, I find myself at a crowded volunteer center. People are making Molotov cocktails, sorting medicine, sewing camouflage nets. The air smells of sweat, gun oil, and determination. A familiar voice calls my name. Dimitro, an old childhood friend now in uniform, grips my shoulder. We need more hands. It's not just about fighting, drivers, medics, couriers. Choose where you stand. I stare at him. My hands tremble, but my voice doesn't. I'm staying. That night, I drive a battered van full of food and medical supplies toward the front lines. The roads are dark, littered with burned-out cars. Distant artillery flashes paint the horizon red. When we pass a checkpoint, a soldier waves us through, his face pale and hollow. As we approach the town of Bucha, a flare lights up the sky. The war isn't on TV anymore, it's all around me. And for the first time, I understand, the world I knew is gone. There is no going back. 2 months have passed since that first night. I barely recognize myself anymore. The van is gone, now I carry a rifle. Basic training was short and brutal, no time for real preparation. My unit is a mix of former students, shopkeepers, IT workers. We joke to hide our fear, but it hangs over us like a storm cloud. Our first mission is to deliver ammunition to a frontline outpost near a destroyed bridge. The roads are mined, the forest eerily silent. In the back of the truck, I sit next to Serhi, a 19-year-old with a crooked smile. He talks too much, maybe to keep himself from screaming. Across from us is Alina, a medic, her eyes empty but alert, like someone who has already seen too much death. The first shots ring out before we see the enemy. Bullets ping against the truck's metal frame. We duck instinctively. Ambush. Someone yells. Chaos explodes. I see one of our men fall, blood spraying onto the snow. My ears ring. My hands grip the rifle, frozen, useless. Then a figure emerges from the trees, weapon raised toward me. Instinct takes over. I fire. The man collapses, silent. For a moment, I can't breathe. My first kill. My stomach twists, and bile rises in my throat. But Serhi grabs my arm. You saved us. Don't think, just move. We reach the outpost, battered but alive. The surviving soldiers cheer as we hand over the crates of ammunition. Their gratitude feels hollow. I can still see the man's face in my mind, frozen in shock as he fell. That night, I don't sleep. Whispers ripple through the camp. Someone is leaking information, enemy drones always seem to find us too easily. Tension builds. People start looking at each other differently, suspicion in every glance. I overhear two officers arguing. One insists there's a traitor. The other says it's just bad luck. I don't know who to believe anymore. During a supply run, we are ambushed again. Rockets slam into the road. Serhi is thrown into a ditch, bleeding heavily. Our commander screams at me, the mission comes first, move the supplies. I freeze. My heart is tearing apart, Serhi is begging for help. If I stay, we might both die. If I leave, he might never see another sunrise. I grab him, throw his arm over my shoulder, and drag him behind the truck. Bullets tear through the metal as we crawl. I can feel his blood soaking my uniform. We survive. The supplies are late, but Serhi lives. That night, the commander corners me, his voice cold. You chose the boy over the mission. Pray that decision doesn't cost more lives. I don't answer. I can't. Our next mission is to retake a village that's been occupied for months. As we advance through the ruins, we find starving survivors, too weak to speak. Burned homes, bullet holes in every wall. A child's toy lies in the mud, half melted. Then we find the mass graves. I stand there, staring at the shallow pits, the crude wooden crosses. My rifle feels heavier than ever. Alina whispers, her voice breaking, how can people do this? I don't know what to say. There are no answers. That night, I write in my journal by candlelight. I don't know if we are heroes. Or just survivors. Every day I lose another piece of who I used to be. I wonder if there will be anything left of me when this is over. But I know there is no turning back. Tomorrow, we fight again. The order comes at dawn, a massive enemy offensive is heading our way. We have little ammunition, few working vehicles, and too many wounded to move. Retreat isn't an option. Everyone knows this could be the end. Serhi, still weak but alive, gives me a crooked smile. Looks like we're going out with style, huh? I try to smile back. I fail. Then the truth comes out, the traitor is Mikhailu, one of our own. He fed the enemy intel in exchange for safe passage for his family. The commander demands his execution. Everyone looks at me. I'm the one holding the rifle. Mikhailo drops to his knees, sobbing. Please. I just wanted them to live. My hands tremble. I think of Maxim's red backpack, of the graves, of Serhiy bleeding out in that ditch. But when I pull the trigger, it's into the dirt. Lock him up, I say. We're not like them. There's no time for debate, the enemy is here. The ground shakes as artillery pounds our positions. The air tastes of metal and smoke. I run from cover to cover, shouting orders I'm barely qualified to give. Alina is beside me, dragging wounded soldiers to safety even as bullets whip past us. Then Serhiy takes a shot to the chest. I hear him choke, see the life draining from his eyes as I press my hands over the wound. Don't go, I beg. Please, stay with me. But he only manages a faint grin. You kept your promise. He dies before I can reply. Something inside me breaks, but there's no time to mourn. I grab his rifle and push forward. The world narrows to gunfire, blood, and smoke. When the sun rises, the offensive has been repelled. Bodies litter the field, ours and theirs. We're alive. But barely. By evening, the battlefield is quiet. Too quiet. I sit in the ruins of what was once a farmhouse, staring at my blood-stained hands. Alina, wounded but alive, sits beside me. Neither of us speaks. I open my journal and write slowly, my hand shaking. We won a piece of land. But lost pieces of ourselves. Maybe history will call us heroes. But tonight, I just want to remember the faces of those I loved. Tomorrow, we'll bury the dead. We'll patch our wounds, rebuild the walls, reload our rifles. But I've already decided, when this war ends, I won't stay a soldier. I will pick up books instead of guns. I will teach again. Because if we forget why we fought, if we forget who we were, then none of this will matter. The sky above is quiet now, stars glimmering faintly through the smoke. For the first time in months, I dare to hope.